Hey, it's Evan. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful 8 podcast. In today's episode, we're talking about faith versus fear when making decisions. This is a concept that I got from Napoleon Hill, a man that I talk about quite often because his books and his teachings have heavily inspired me to become the man that I am today. And I remember reading, I believe it was from Outwitting the Devil, that every man has the right to know. Every man has the right to know that when he makes decisions, it is based off faith or it's based off fear. This was such an interesting take for me to read because when making decisions, I never understood that it really is from a place of faith or it's a place from fear. And most of the action that we take and most of the decisions that we make, it's subconscious, right? 90% of our day is on autopilot. So when we make decisions, for example, eating, something as simple as eating, that's based off of faith, right? Or sometimes, when we're hangry or we're really hungry, we're eating because we're fearful of famine, which is just rooted in our history, family history. So the concept was so interesting because when you go about your day and you take action and you make decisions, it really is from a place of faith or fear. So there are two ways that I found to make decisions that really result in living a faith-driven life, and that's making decisions based off of faith and not fear. And it's making decisions based off of equanimity as your guide. So let's break this down a little bit. Every man has the right to know that his decisions are based off faith or fear. So, this being said, when you go and you make decisions, be so definite in your decision-making matrix that it's from a faith-driven perspective. Don't make decisions based off fear, because making decisions based off fear leads to very curvy paths. Making decisions based off fear results in a life that's based off what? It's based off fear. But when you make decisions based off of faith, you're living a faith-driven life. You're so confident in every decision that you make because it's based off faith. For example, let's say investing in that one mentor. You're so confident that investing in this mentor will have a positive return that you don't hesitate when you make the decision because you're led by faith. Not making the decision to invest in that mentor is based off fear because you're scared, you're terrified. This is fear of the unknown. This was one of my only fears at a time, but I understood that you can reframe fear as excitement. And, I never lived with any other fears except fear of the unknown. I was terrified of what was to come. If I did X, Y, or Z, if I did this or that, I was terrified of the unknown. I had no idea what was to come in my life, in my relationships that I was building. But then I realized that fear can be reframed as excitement. And I can go about that fear from a faith-driven perspective. And then this understanding led me to take more action in my life, right? Take so much action, it overwhelms your fearful mind. What does that mean? That means making decisions based off faith. Because your fearful mind, right, that's that gap between the two fingers in Da Vinci's hand of God, right? That's fear. God, the universe, infinite intelligence, the creator, it's giving you signs and synchronicities every single day. You just have to acknowledge them and take action on them based off faith and equanimity. So faith as your decision-making matrix, taking action and making decisions in life from a faith-driven perspective is key in living a truly fulfilled life. And it's also understanding that the right action to take comes from present moment awareness. And present moment awareness is equanimity. Equanimity is mental calmness. It's being cool, calm, and collected at all times. You're not making decisions in a hurried state. You're making decisions from a state of equanimity. You have a calm mind. I affirm that this is making sense with you, and if it doesn't, shoot me a DM about it on Instagram at Evan Sr. I will help you out because this is one of my favorite topics to talk about. Leveraging faith as your decision-making matrix is something that I'm truly passionate about, and I love taking action based off of faith and equanimity. Equanimity is your guide in your decision-making matrix, but you make decisions based off faith. Faith and equanimity is the dynamic duo when it comes to making decisions. Do not make decisions based off of fear. Making decisions based off of fear leads to a fearful life. Making decisions based off faith leads to a faith-driven life. You're so confident in every action that you take that you're not worried about the outcome. As a matter of fact, you're detached from the outcome because you're just so focused on creating a life for yourself that's based off of faith. And you're making decisions from a state of mental calmness, of equanimity. Because before you make decisions, big decisions, you meditate 30 minutes before a big decision in your life. You come out of that meditation and you've cultivated a calm mind from meditation. So the right action to take came from that present moment awareness. And it's based off faith. So I encourage you, as you go about your days and you start to take action, even more action that overwhelms your fearful mind, as you go about your life and you start to make decisions, big decisions in your life, I encourage you to truly reflect if you are making these decisions based off faith or fear. I love you all dearly. Thank you for listening to this episode on faith versus fear when making decisions. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a great rest of your day.